Right, we're back, and we're thinking about poison. We're thinking about poison. So if we're going with a poison setup, we're going with Blighted Grasp. Raised from the ground, damaging enemies 15 yards. Alright, so it looks like the radius is going to be much smaller. We're using Death Valley. Just seems like the radius is much more than 15 yards. Could be wrong. Well, anyways, we're not using Death Valley. It just seems like, especially when I'm doing like a regular Nephilim Rift, seems like almost the whole area is affected by it. Okay, so it's going to be Blighted Grasp plus the Unconventional Warfare Rune. I don't know if this is going to be physical and this is going to be poison, and they're going to be two different aspects of it. I don't know about that. If so, that could be a problem. Okay, this is going to stay. This is going to be the only non-poison one that I'll have. So I'm going to lose Die Flesh Sustained, which is basically doubles my life per second, doubles my recovery. I'm gonna lose that. I'm gonna lose this 10% damage reduction. Instead, it's gonna fear them, which I really don't like at all, but maybe it won't be all that bad. And then I just need 2 relatively random poison skills. Okay, we were thinking about Curse Sith, which is good in general because then it will it has a chance to be hit with a curse. Probably this one here, this Siphon Blood.
I waited 1500 years for this.
Increase
Should I return to my slumber?
I don't have to do this very often because the bonus for this lasts for 15 seconds. Each different poison skill you use increases the damage of your poison skills by 100% for 15 seconds. So I'll have 5 poison skills. So that should be a 500% increase to my damage. I was thinking about this. This can be nice. This can be nice. Getting in, going up against some of those poison-based Rift Guardians, it's nice to go up against them and just be completely immune to their... I was thinking about Wisdom of Kalan, but the only thing I don't like about Wisdom of Kalan, first of all, it's physical skills, so that's bad. It's probably not worth using, but Only going to get me an extra 15% damage reduction, so I don't know. And then, of course, there's Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge. I mean, to be fair, to be 100% fair, I should be using an amulet that is somewhat comparable to this one. This would not be comparable to that one. Well, I could switch out that critical hit chance, which I really wouldn't want to, but if I switch out the critical hit chance, then it will be... Let's do that. Let's try that. I'll just go with this one for now, and then I'll try Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge after that. So let's switch out this. Normally, I would probably not want to get rid of this. I'd probably get rid of the life, but I just want to keep the comparison between the poison versus physical relatively the same. So if I go, you know, with extra damage or something like that, then won't really be a actual comparison. Not that the extra 10% is really that big of a deal, but not that it's going to really skew the results. But the whole point of this is to see what's better, poison or physical. Let's see if it takes me 60 tries. Nope, to get a socket. I don't even know if this is the best amulet to be using, but okay, so I am going to be a good bit less defensive, so I do got to be a little careful, except now for poison. Poison, let me, first of all, let me go back. No, I can't. I already changed it. I was going to save it in the armory. I do want to make this a little bit of an easier setup, though. I want to be able to just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I run into an elite, I want to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to think of the best way to set up which hotkeys to use for which skills, just so that be nice and smooth. So it's got a 10-second cooldown, but I got 32% cooldown reduction. So I could probably hit this one first. Hit this one first. that's bad. I've got, it looks like I've got to actually revive a creature. These two skills will activate. But this one, it looks like I have to actually revive a creature in order for it to kick in with Nyanar's Black Death. Nyar's Black Death. Well, gotta get at least 10 revive first. It's gonna fear all enemies. They're all gonna run away. I can already see problems with this. When the enemies run away, they'll probably run out of the area of effect of the army of the dead. What can't I? Can I have? I can't have command skeleton on that slot. All right. Let's put the army of the dead on the very last slot. We'll keep command skeletons here. I'll just have this be Cursed Sith. We'll keep this with bone armor. Well, no, I want to hit bone armor first. Can I have bone armor? I want bone armor first. And so that way when I cycle through to finally get to this, by the time I get to this, my bone armor will be off cooldown, or at least close to being off cooldown, and then I can use it again. This is going to be so awkward. Having bone armor in this location, my left mouse button, that's going to be so awkward. It might take me a little time to get used to it. Alright, and... I mean, I shouldn't need Dark Reaping anymore. I should get plenty of essence from these two. Maybe the health globes. I should be consuming quite a few corpses, because I'm going to be using this all the time now. Or at least once every Army of the Dead. Let's go with that one. And if I run into essence problems, then I'll switch back. Okay, I don't need this anymore. I'm not using that. Okay, this would be nice. Now with this, I can be far away. I don't have to be close to the enemy anymore. That could be a big help. That means I can jump into our Oculus circle whenever I can. I'll have to experiment. I'll have to see just how many health globes I get from that and whether or not that's useful, but I'll just have to test it and see. If this doesn't seem to help me out too much, then I'll just I'll go with Blood as Power. Probably would be better, but the problem is that you know, my build is a good bit less defensive now. Alright, let's just try this real quick. We'll just try a 105. And if it can't even do a 105, then we know that there's a problem. Alright, so defensive. Give it a shot.
Enemies of the movement.
Can't tell where he is anymore. Is this him? How did he get way up here? Oh, come on. Frickin' wall. Oh! Can't get out.
I need healing. That needs to recharge.
Got a little mixed up on my skills here.
To recharge.
I get them both.
Needs to recharge.
Getting elite anyway.
A grave beckons.
whole fear thing is just gonna really make things difficult.
Guardian has found. Give it more time.
Oh, it's better.
Let's see the gem.
I don't think I can honestly say that it's better.
I need to go back.
I'm getting a lot of confusion with my skills here. You know, it's tough when you've got 6 skills to manage. You know, you're just trying to do them in the right order. Make sure I've got all 5 of these stacks here. You know, I've only got 2 at the moment, but
Impressive.
so much going on, so much to pay attention
This
to.
knowledge.
Tough to manage everything. Made 800, that's cool.
Fortune favors the bold. Don't forget, luck always changes.
I am overburdened.
Rathma has blessed me. However, I didn't get. I didn't even think about poison. That whole thing. I didn't even occur to me to think whether or not I was being immune to poison or not. That one might be a little better for her. I think I already got one of these, but that one looks pretty good. No, this one looks better. Okay, this, I forgot all about this too. I don't need to be near the enemy, other than maybe for this, and maybe I should even just get rid of this. In fact, I probably should. Let's just go with, just go with ranged bone spike thingy.
No.
So now I can just be completely far away. I could have used the other legendary gem for being at a long distance. Ugh. Like I said, this build is not very defensive as it is, unless I switch over to Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge, which I may very well do. I'd be giving up 50% overall damage here for 100%. Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge, as long as I'm standing still, obviously. I do gotta be somewhat close, because I got the bone armor. Okay, that's pretty good radius. Alright, I don't need to be that close. I wish I would say what the actual radius is here. Skeletons have got to be on the most powerful guy there, the yellow guy. So that yellow guy takes an extra 85% or double that bonus. The whole point of putting it in order was to do this one first. And the other three, and then finally this one, fifth one. And then come back to this to stun the enemies while they're being affected by this, because this lasts for 5 seconds. So hopefully within that third, fourth, or fifth second, they would take at least 1 second of this for the triple Crispin's sentence damage. That was the whole point, or at least part of the point anyways. All right, let's
Should I find some new attire? These old things are becoming so small.
I think I'm just gonna make this setup a little more finger friendly so that things happen in an easy way. See, the other way I had it set up was pretty good because I only had a couple of skills that I had to deal with. So this one, this one here I want to be the same, but it's just going to have to be different. I only need to hit this one for a second. Let's let's put this one here as this one. We'll put this one here as wish there was a way to just easily go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we'll keep that there. And we'll put this as the bone armor. I just don't want to have to be like, which skill. I just want it to be very systematic. Very systematic. Keeping all of these bonuses as 5 as much as possible. Alright. Let's change this to Army of the Dead. And we'll change this to bone armor. And so that way it's just going to be hit the biggest enemy with this. 1, 2, actually hit the biggest enemy with this first. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And this obviously only if there's corpses. If there's no corpses, then this isn't gonna help. All right. We'll work our way up. I'll go up to 106. In fact, that one went pretty easy. Let's go up to 107. That. I don't have to be close. I'm doing the poison. tell if it's working out.
You will make a fine corpse.
I don't want to leave it. Have a look around. It. one big problem is the fear thingy. That's definitely a big issue.
This world can abide you no longer.
Might get used to it. I don't know. Might get used to it.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
Well, I don't know. Also tough to say just how much the the immune to poison is or is not working.
I need to go back.
I do got to remember it, and that's one more thing to try and remember if I encounter poison, that, hey, I'm immune to this, and I'm not only am I immune, but I'm also getting healed by it, so not that that's generally a lot, but
The blood runs true within you. My power has grown.
Fate smiles on you today.
You're imaginative, aren't you?
Don't be shy.
attack speed and reduced cooldown and intelligence. That's perfect for her.
Do come back again.
My bag is full.
Let's go with the compass rose and the pledge of the traveler. Once again, I want to keep it somewhat comparable, so damage, vitality, damage, vitality. So I'm going to switch out the armor. Not going to be exact, but oh. Who knows? Maybe I won't be doing it. Did I get a socket in here? Only got 8 chances to get a socket in here. Did my other one, or I don't think the other one had a socket, did it? Here we go, number 1. Ah, oh goodness. It's happened before where I wasn't able to test something because I ran out of gems to socket. And that's the reason why I don't like to combine all of these all the way up. Because if you need to switch something out and you can't do it, you're in trouble. You won't be able to get that socket in there. Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge. So now, as long as I'm not moving, I'll be doing more damage. And when I am moving, I've got damage reduction. Not to mention the fact that Compass Rose Ring has an extra primary ability in it, which in this case is attack speed. It's not ancient though. Okay, well, I guess that kind of balances each other out. And this one, I lost about 6% in damage, but I gained a little bit in toughness. Of course, I'm not immune to poison anymore. Watch, for the next Rift Guardian I get is going to be super duper poison damage. Alright, here we go. Try it again. I'll go with a 107. How many do I got? 4. Here we go.
Prove yourself worthy of your birthright.
Oh, come on. This is gonna be rough. I just gotta go after just one at a time. Hope he doesn't teleport away. Just run away. Kill it. Well, I don't know.
That needs to recharge.
Trying to manage everything. I guess I'm running too fast, so I'm not gaining Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge. there's just too many different mechanics involved. Having to stand still. Can't get in there.
Night embraces you. Give more time.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure in some ways I'm doing more damage. Obviously, the 500% is more than the 300% for the poison.
by returning to town.
Okay, but I can't teleport, which means I'm getting to less conduits
Excellent.
and elites
Rathma has less
overall in the rift. Because I'm just physically not moving to each one of them fast enough.
You look like you could use a new item of, indeterminate. Ooh, that's nice.
I am
Can I have it
overburdened.
So that's definitely going to be hurting me, because with all the benefits that you get from her, with the flavor of time, nemesis bracers, you know, missing out on those conduits, missing out on those pylons, definitely has got to be hurting, at least to a certain extent. Not to mention being able to teleport to out of a dangerous situation. But I'm almost positive that I've had 5 stacks every fight. Matter of fact, almost all the time. You know, except where, like in the very beginning or something like that, where there are just no corpses for me to hit this. But this fear, if this did not fear enemies, it would be so much better, because, you know, I've got my radius that I'm hitting them in, but I end up fearing them, and they run away, running out of the radius. Once they run out of the radius of the army of the dead, they're not taking any damage at that point. You know, if the and you got to have the revive. There's no doubt you got to have a revive. So, you know, the only option there would be to give up the poison revive and go back to the other revive. But then I've only got 400% damage. Versus the 300% I had from the Death Valley. And I just don't think that's going to be enough. That's not going to be... Because I guess the way the math works out, that's only an extra 25% damage. This right here is actually only an extra 60% damage, right? You're going from 300 to 500%. So it's an extra 200%. So it's about... I guess it's an extra 66% damage. Because you're adding to, you know, a bonus damage. But I mean, you saw the results there. I mean, the other one did a 110 in pretty good time. And the only thing I could think of doing is just improving my play with this setup. Just learning when approximately to cast this. There might have been quite a few times where I could have cast it, but I didn't. Maybe I just didn't realize it was ready yet. So unless there's something else going on with, you know, Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge, maybe I was just moving too much for a while there, but so I wasn't able to just stand still like I otherwise might have wanted to. Which means I lost my 100%. And this is kind of, maybe this is a waste. I mean, I guess I've just got to be close to the enemy. Well, I guess I don't got to be close to the enemy.
I waited 1,500 years for this. Should I return to my slumber?
I think this right here, this, and it's okay. Well, it's enemies within 20 yards of me run away in fear. But a lot of that, you know, having to make sure I'm a certain distance away, a lot of that just takes away from the Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge, because then I got to run to some place. I don't know. This probably isn't helping all that much. We'll just try this one. I just don't know how much good it's going to do. All right, let's try it again with this. See what happens. Let's try 108.
You ready? Then your pride begins. Consumes you! That needs to recharge. Corpse.
Pile on it.
found
Oh, you got it.
Give it more time.
Oh, come on. Oh, man. I saw that I was dead. I tried to get out of there.
Give it more time.
Come on. No corpses. Can't do anything with a revive.
I am returning to town.
It was that lucky or unlucky little freezing thing that killed me right there after the Rift Guardian was spawning.
Excellent. I understand so much more now.
I don't know. Either way, it just doesn't seem
Hello there.
any better than
What a steal. What a
I am
steal.
over
the Death Valley variation. Oh, I mean, there's some advantages, but there's some disadvantages too. So. I do think I was starting to get the hang of it, though. I guess I'm doing more damage, but it's not like it's just a pure gain of 300 to 500% damage. I'm losing. Like I said, number one, I'm losing. I lost the blood rush, so I can't get from pylon to pylon as fast. From elite to elite as fast. So instead of getting 3, 4, 5 pylons per rift, I'm only getting maybe 2 or 3. I'm also I lost the toughness and recovery that I had gotten from the other bone armor. Lost the damage reduction from this. Whoops, okay. I'm supposed to change that over to poison. Okay, well that could... Sure that, you know, that's not a huge difference, but definitely would make at least somewhat of a difference. Those are ancient. Well, but this is 92%, so... Alright, so this will increase by 92%, but it's not ancient, so... Works out somewhat equally. Right, so now I've got an extra 18% going from physical to poison. Anything else I'm missing? I'm just not thinking about. Should be doing better. I mean, I should be doing better with the poison variation. It just looks that way. It looks like I should be doing better. I'm not necessarily saying 5 greater rifts better, but at least 1 or 2. I should be able to do 110 easier than with this physical. Like I said, unless if this blood rush getting to the pylons faster is much better, and that, and plus the revive not fearing enemies away. Unless if those 2 things just nerf this so much that the extra damage that this poison variation does just doesn't compensate it. You know, the poison variation probably gives an extra 60% damage overall, but I might have lost out 100% by not being able to get to the other pylons and by fearing enemies away so that they're not in the little army of the dead circle. Not to mention the loss of the recovery from thy flesh sustained. And the damage reduction from personal army, 10%. You just take all that into account and it just might not equal out the
I waited 1,500 years for this.
60% that you get from the poison. And it might not even be 60%. It might not even be 60%. I mean, this deals 12,000 weapon damage as physical in a 15-yard radius. Bam. Plus the unconventional warfare. And it knocks all enemies towards the center. This one. Now is that 14,000 damage per second? Is it just a flat 14,000% weapon damage? They both gain the unconventional warfare. See, now this says 50,000 total weapon damage. But they both get that. Skeletal hands raised from the ground, damaging enemies within 15 yards for 14,000% weapon that has poison. Just the way they word that just doesn't really tell you the whole story, I don't think. So this just knocks all affected enemies towards the center. So I'm going to guess that this just does a little bit more damage than this. This just does the normal 12,000% damage. This does 14,000% weapon damage over 5 seconds. I'm going to guess with this, they just take the full 12 immediately. And then after that, it's just the unconventional warfare. Now here's another thing too. This is physical. This here is physical, so this damage here might not be getting any of the poison damage bonus. I don't know how that works, because technically I'm casting this as poison, but the unconventional warfare itself is physical. Yeah. I mean, that could be it right there. So when I cast my own Army of the Dead, this is getting boosted as a poison skill, but it's possible the unconventional warfare is just quote-unquote normal damage without any boost from any poison. Either way, just based upon the 107s that I just did, you know, and the fact that I died, this just doesn't seem, it just doesn't seem better. Maybe with you know, perfect play on both sides, who knows, maybe it's equal to it, but I just don't see it as being better. And the only other thing I could think of is if I wasn't casting this enough. You know, if this was coming, I might go back and watch the recording and see how often I was casting this when I could have been casting it more. Maybe that's part of the issue. You know, maybe I was only casting this half as much as what I could have been. Maybe it became ready and I was busy doing other things. Maybe I was just busy doing other things. You know, trying to keep my bonuses going, or repositioning, or, you know, commanding my skeletons to attack the next target when the target it was attacking died. But that's part of it. You know, that's part of it. I can't not do that. I've got to keep the 5 stacks up. Okay, either way, I'm just not seeing. I'm not seeing an improvement. All right, let me sign off here. I will be back later. I've been going for almost 2 hours now. Okay, I will be back.